People say that once you mess up with Capital One, it's hard to get back in with them.
Mistakes I've made with credit cards. You know, unfortunately, I wasn't given the blueprint about credit and credit scores and credit cards and, you know, all the fun stuff when you get out in the real world. So here are mistakes that I've made with credit cards. Applying for credit cards when I didn't need it. This was something that I did on a regular because I had the mindset that my credit score was bad anyway, so what the heck, why not, you know? So because I had that mentality, I was just applying, getting denied, applying, getting denied, not even realizing or knowing that every time I apply and these people check my credit, it affects my score. Don't be like me, be better than me. Not paying my bills on time. When I got my first, as a matter of fact, my very first credit card, like, I went, purchased something and never made that payment, never made a payment. I just purchased it and it just never got paid. And because and it was just for $100. The credit limit was $700 at the time, years ago. So the credit limit was $700 and the purchase amount was $100. I never paid it. Years passed and that $700 increased over time to $1,000-something $100, I think. I was horrible. Don't do that. When I started learning about credit and stuff like that, my first secured credit card, because trial and error. Not trial and error. It's like you have to discipline yourself. And this, this was my little training. So that first secured credit card I had, I didn't have income at the time, but I still wanted to build and work on my credit. I ended up in a jam, like I wasn't already in a jam. And didn't pay my credit card balance, not even the minimum. Just like the first situation, but mentally I grew. So what ended up happening, I didn't pay the minimum, I didn't pay nothing. I don't know, like I should have paid whatever the minimum payment was at the time, but I just didn't, and that's why I went wrong. I carried that balance for as long as they let me, and I just hope and pray that they didn't close the account, right? So just before the account, I don't know, because it seemed like they was just waiting, but just before the account closed, I paid the card off in full, and boom, just like that, they closed the account. So I ended up, losing my my little relationship with that bank, which was Capital One. But guess what? Now I can now I'm able to get another card with them. People say that once you mess up with Capital One, it's hard to get back in with them, which I thought was true because I couldn't get back in, but time passed, and like I said, discipline, educating myself, and just doing everything that I need to just stay on track and keep up with my credit score and credit cards. So I said, you know what, let me go apply. I applied, and sure enough, they approved me. But that's another video. Another. And this was like, oh my God. This was something that I could have prevented from happening, but I didn't. Which was making a payment and not having all the funds available in the account for my credit card payment. This was with my Discover It secured credit card. So it kind of held me back from becoming unsecured with them. But what I did was that next day, I just hurried up and put the rest in there and then went ahead and resubmitted that payment. As a result, and just in case this ever happened to anybody, as a result of me not having the funds in there to make that payment, I ended up having to wait an extra 4 months to become unsecured. Hey, I'm Keita Billions, and I'm on my way to 100K. Tap subscribe and come along with me.